we're doing a giveaway on our Instagram. So you can either go to Drink Read Fabio, or you can go to @Soph and Kate Reads, and we're doing an Instagram giveaway where we are giving away a book that is on your Amazon wish list. So if you want to get a free book, go follow us and go find our giveaway posts. Hello everyone!
Welcome back to Drink Read Fabio! I'm Kate Brimmer.
And I'm Sophia Kaiafis.
And today we are talking about names.
Yes. So we thought it would be fun to pick books that went along with the the letters in our name. So the title of the book matched each letter in the name.
Yeah, so the first letter of each book title equals the letter for each of our names. So we read our names.
Yes, I did Soph because then I would have had to read a lot more books. But, and then that equaled the same amount. But that's what we're doing today.
Yes, I'm super excited. This is a long planned out video.
Yeah.
So we have finally finished and it's gonna be fun to talk about them.
Yeah.
So let's start with our first letters.
Yes.
So I started off with K for I Kissed Sarah Wheeler. This is my K book. Which one? Cute. So cute.
Yeah.
I talked about this book a little bit on our reading wrap-up because we've obviously included all these books in our wrap-ups because we've read them. But it's super cute, super sweet. I rated it a 3. It's very, very YA. So if you are not a YA lover, I would not recommend picking up this book. But it's really cute. It's a lesbian romance, but also has some mystery involved, and you're looking for clues and things like that. It's really cute. I really think I would have loved it if I read it in like 8th grade or 9th grade.
Yeah. Amazing.
Oh, and it's by Casey McQuiston.
McQuiston. And then for S, I read The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. And my kind of goal with this stack was to pick books that I wouldn't normally read or maybe gravitate towards. So we already talked about a lot of these books already, so we won't go too much in depth. But this book is basically about this woman who comes home one day and shoots her husband in the face 6 times. So cute. It's a romance. I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You're like, she did it for love.
She did it for love. So romantic. And she doesn't speak again. So basically she ends up going to this psych ward, and that's where she lives, and she won't speak to anybody. And no one knows exactly what happened. So this psychotherapist named Theo is determined to get her to talk and figure out and uncover what happened and if she did it or if she did not do it. And it's really good. It's such a good thriller. The plot twist was extremely shocking. I was not expecting it. Like, I'm usually good at guessing-ish, and this came out of nowhere, but not in like a way where it was like, this came out of nowhere, like this doesn't make sense. It was perfect, and it's so good and perfect for this spooky season. I rated The Silent Patient at 5 stars because it's amazing.
So my next book is A, because K-A for Kate. And I picked Archer's Voice, which actually was a recommendation from Sophia to read because it's upside down. Because everybody's talking about it. So many people love it. It's by Sheridan. It's all over TikTok, all over Instagram, so I'm sure you've heard of it. And it was so good. I think I rated it a 4.5, something around there. And it's a romance, but it's more of a darker romance with a lot more issues and more personal situations. It's definitely not rom-com vibes, and it makes you really just think about life in general and how we view people, and it's really, really good.
Yes. For my O book, I read One True Loves by Jenkins Reid. Y'all already know, she's my gal. And I did this in our last video as my book that inspired the drink, so go watch that video. So I won't go in depth again, but This is basically, if you don't like knowing plots of books, disclaimer, I'm about to kind of share what the main plot is. So like, it's on the back. I'm not spoiling, but some people don't like that. So just knowing, it's like basically telling you what the book's about. Anyway, it's basically about this woman who marries this man, and they are, you know, madly in love. Everything's perfect. They're, you know, everything is great. They have a great relationship. He goes on a trip. His helicopter crashes, and he is presumed dead. So after a while, she has to find a way to move on, and she meets someone else and is engaged to him, and she finds out that her husband was found and that he's coming home. And so now she has to decide who she wants to be with for however long the rest of her life. And it's hard because she loves them both, and she believes that they're both her true loves.
Yep.
So you have to read to find out who she picks, and it's really heartbreaking, but also really just lovely too.
And that was a 5-star for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, was a 5-star. Very good.
Well, my next letter is T, and so I picked The Infinity Between Us by N.S. Perkins. This is a childhood lovers romance, and it was okay. It was fine.
It was okay.
It was like a 3, but a low 3. There's just so many better ones out there, and it just, I love childhood friends to lovers so much. They're getting so repetitive, and it seems like because Love in Other Words did so well,
yeah,
people are just copying that book instead of trying to figure out their own way and their own version of doing the same kind of vibe, and you're not going to top it. No one's going to top Love in Other Words, so stop. Give me a friends to lovers that is new and interesting that I also want to read.
That's not at a summer house and not at a lake house. Like,
I know.
There's other
settings, and not with the flipping back and forth.
Yeah.
The perspective change and the time change.
No, we can be a little more creative here.
Come on. We can be best friends and turn into lovers without having this back and forth.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For my P book, I read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. So this kind of goes along with me saying that I wanted to try to read something different, and also there's not a lot of P books out there, so that was kind of tricky.
I struggled with K too.
Yeah. So this book is a little bit hard to explain, especially since I'm not used to reading classics. So it has a lot of multiple meanings within the story. Basically, it's about this man named Dorian Gray, and he's kind of the it guy. Like, everyone wants to be him, everyone wants to be friends with him, and he's friends with this guy who's an artist, and he likes to paint portraits of Dorian. And the artist has a friend who loves these portraits and is like, 1, I need that portrait, and 2, I want to be friends with Dorian. So he kind of befriends Dorian, but he has these kind of negative ways of thinking about the world, and it really gets to Dorian and makes him start being this negative, darker person. And because he's friends with so many people, it affects his friendships and his relationships. And not only that, but also it affects the portrait. So the portrait starts having these weird things happen to it, and because of his true character. So it's kind of about beauty and how you look on the outside and what is represented on the inside, and who your true self is in your soul, and who you are, and how that just because you're beautiful on the outside doesn't mean you're always beautiful on the inside, and you know that affects his actual outside beauty.
Yeah,
in a way. So it's really interesting. I rated it a 4.5 stars because there are parts of it where I was kind of bored. But
it's a classic.
It's a classic. So there are parts where I was just like, okay, these are very great descriptions, but I need some more going on. But it's really short. It's extremely short, and it was super easy to read. Extremely funny in the beginning because then it gets dark. But in the beginning, it's so funny, and I was not expecting that, so I love that part of it. And I think if you're trying to get into classics, this is a really great one to pick up. So
yay! Yeah. And my last book for E to finish out my name is Every Last Secret by A.R. Torre. This is a thriller, so it was kind of a little bit of a step outside my comfort zone. I read it at the beginning of October, so it's kind of getting me into the spooky season. And oh my gosh, guys, this is so good. It's so frustrating, but I was going through, you know, it's a good book when you can't get through the day without thinking about it.
Yeah.
And like that you just want to pick it up. I was sitting at my desk at work, just like, I just want to go home and read the book because I just have to know. I stayed up late to finish it because I just could not put it down.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to know how it ended. And it's such a, I'm not even going to explain what it's about to you guys because it really spoils it. Like even just like the little stuff kind of gives things away.
Mm-hmm.
But the most I'm going to say about it is that it follows this rich couple who have their lives perfect. The husband's super rich and he is the CEO of a company, and she's a stay-at-home wife who takes care of the house, and they have this beautiful mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple moves in next door, who the wife is working for the husband at his, you know, office, and she becomes obsessed with their lifestyle. So that's just like kind of the beginning, and then it just explodes from there. And definitely go check it out. It's a 5-star read. So good.
For my for my H book, I read The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the second book in the Inheritance Games trilogy. And I kind of talked about this in our wrap up, but I felt like these books just, I don't know, something about them, the way that they're formatted and the way that the writer writes, the author writes, I should say, just doesn't flow well to me in my brain. And I don't know, I kind of felt like it should have had more action and more puzzles, and it feels like the puzzles are solved very quickly when they find them. They're just like, oh, I remember this thing, let's go, and then they open it super easily. This book is about a girl named Avery who is just this normal high school girl, and one day she finds out that she has inherited this rich guy's, like extremely wealthy, like not just rich, he's like
one of the
insanely
most wealthy guys
in the world, his whole fortune. And she doesn't even know him. So she's like, oh, what the heck? So she goes, and basically to inherit this whole fortune officially, she has to live in this house with his family members who are kind of out to get her because they barely inherited anything for a whole year. So there's like that kind of conflict, and then her also trying to figure out why he picked her in the first place. And it's really fun. I gave this a 4 stars. It's still really fun, but something about it just kind of wasn't completely 5 for
It didn't
me.
meet your expectations.
No. So we have S, the silent patient, O, One True Loves, P, the picture of Dorian Gray, and H, the Hawthorne Legacy.
And I have K, I Kissed Shara Wheeler, A, Archer's Voice, T, The Infinity Between Us, and lastly, E, Every Last Secret.
Yay!
Our names!
This was such a fun challenge because I feel like it kind of pushed us out of, you know, our normal reading path because we had to go with books that fit the letter.
Exactly.
So we really kind of went out of our comfort zone, or maybe we read books that weren't in our like
TBR at the time.
but we had to fit the title with our name. So picking books that were different was really fun, and we got a good
little stack here.
Got a good little stack here. Some really good reads and different reads for us. So it was really
Exactly, super fun. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Let us know if you've tried this challenge before. I know it's kind of a challenge that's gone up on especially Bookstagram. A lot of people do it. So if you've done it, let us know your books, or if you would do it, spell out your names in books. Super fun. And we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on our Instagrams, and we will see you guys later on
Drink, Read, Fabio.
Bye!
Bye.